How you doing? I'm Kenny Joya. Welcome to another one of my tutorials. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to mix a rock pop song from beginning to end. The song is called Emotional Roller Coaster by the artist Drake. The producer Mark Nelson, who happens to be the singer also, was nice enough to let me use it, so I want to thank him for that. Thanks, Mark. As you can see, the song is imported into Pro Tools already. Now, I just wanted to mention, even though I'm going to mix this song in Pro Tools, this tutorial is not meant to be Pro Tools specific. It's a mixing tutorial. So anything that we're going to do during this mix can be accomplished in any DAW. There might be times I'll be showing you something that works in Pro Tools a certain way, but there's always a workaround in your DAW. So I'll try to keep things very general. Now the next thing we'll notice is that all the files have been consolidated. In other words, all of them start at bar 1 and go to the end of the song. One big region per track. Even if the music starts in the middle like this, the file still starts at bar 1. I find this to be the best way to work with mixers who aren't using the same DAW as you. In this situation, he just sent me a bunch of WAV files. I just dragged them into Pro Tools and put them all at bar 1. This way there'll be no timing issues later on. Just drag everything to bar 1 and all the tracks line up perfectly. One file per track. Now because these files are just dragged in, the tempo doesn't necessarily match up. So these bars and beats, they're not going to line up to the song, even though the song was played to a click. So I have to put the correct tempo into the song. In fact, if I look at the notes, I notice that there's some tempo changes in the song. So the song starts at 133 beats per minute. Just going to put that in. Go to the beginning. 133. See the tempo changes. Then at bar 83, it changes to 131 beats per minute. So I guess it slows down over here. Then at bar 95, it changes to 134 beats per minute. So I guess it speeds back up for the ending, even faster than the beginning. So because the song was played to a click, these bars and beats will now line up, which will make it easier if I have to fly things around. Now just so there's no confusion, when you change the tempo in Pro Tools like this, you're not actually changing the audio. It's not compressing or expanding. It plays back exactly the same. The only difference is now your bar and beat markers line up to the click track that your drummer originally played to. Now normally the artist gives me a rough mix to compare to. But in this situation, the artist wasn't happy with their rough mix, so they preferred that I start from scratch. So I'm basically going to create a rough mix on the spot by just putting the faders up. Now they've also given me free reign. In other words, I could do whatever I want. I could add things, I could take some things away. Whatever I think will make the track work, we're going to do for this mix. So we could probably have some fun with it. Now to make this rough mix, I want all the tracks to be as raw as possible, the way they were originally recorded. So if I go to my mix window, you see there's no plugins on any of the tracks, no effect sends. Everything's completely dry. In fact, all the tracks are going on a main bus here, which is a stereo bus I created. And that's all going back to an aux input here, a stereo aux input, and that's going out the main output for monitoring. So there's no stereo bus effects, and no individual effects or sends. Completely dry, completely raw, the way it was all tracked. So I could hear everything in its raw state. So let's go track by track through the entire session. We have the kick track for our drums, snare track, both panned in the middle, hi-hat. I panned that a little to the left, because in the session notes it said the hi-hat was on the left side, so I panned that to the side because I know it's going to be there. Got a rack tom, also a little bit to the left. There doesn't seem to be a floor tom, I guess he didn't hit one. We got the overheads, which is a stereo track, pan left and right. Room, left and right also, stereo track. We have the snare shuffle track, which appears to be an overdub, also pan left and right because it's a stereo track. We have a couple of tambourines here, tambourine 1 and 2. I'm going to keep them in the middle for now. We have a bass DI and a bass cabinet, I guess a bass amp. We'll keep them in the middle also. We have a bunch of guitars, Mark guitar, Josh guitar, Mike guitar, room. Again, I'm going to keep them in the middle because I'm not sure where I want them to go, so we'll just keep it mono for now. Guitar 1. Guitar 2, these seem to only play at the end. Guitar 3, 4, 5, 6, again we're going to keep these all in the middle. 7, 8, 9. Then we have a Wurlitzer part. Seems to play through the whole song. Organ, it's also stereo, so we'll keep it in stereo. Organ 2, seems to just play at the end, also in stereo. piano, just at the end in stereo also. Mark vocal. This appears to be the lead vocal, so it's in the middle. Mark vocal 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll keep them in the middle for now, until we figure out where we want them to go. Then you have these wee tracks. Seems to be a background vocal here. Wee 1 through 12. And they all seem to play the same section, so I assume they're background vocals also. I'm just going to leave them all panned in the middle also. So it's basically a mono mix, except for the stereo tracks. And we'll figure out the panning later. Now another thing I want to mention, if I ever want to move a fader in this video, I'll make sure I have a fader showing here. Because I'm using a controller, so I don't always grab it from here. Sometimes I grab it from my controller, which you can't see, but I'll make sure it's always on the screen for you. So I can move it here, so you can see it's moving, even if the mouse isn't moving it. So let's hear this track. I'll zoom around a little bit, but I'm going to turn my microphone off, so you can hear the song from beginning to end without me interrupting.
myself in love, for the sake of myself in love. Oh no, we all know it's hard emotion, we know it's not all love.
So that's pretty much the song. Obviously, it's not a great mix. Just the faders are up so you can hear everything. But I think you get an idea of what's going on in the song. Let's try to organize it a little more in the next tutorial.